¿Y cuándo tú te vas a casar? I think I'd be more worried if I didn't get those questions because I'd feel like I wasn't capable. Like, so you don't think I'm pretty enough to get married or what? But in all seriousness, I think that when you should start to get worried is when you start to feel like you have to please other people. If at any point after one of these family gatherings, you feel like you gotta go find yourself a husband because la tia told you that it was time, that's when I'm gonna need you to back up, rewind this, and watch this over again. You may really wanna send this video out to all your Hispanic women because you are gonna want the final 3 tips that I have for you in these upcoming holidays. I promise you, it's a good one and you're gonna need it for when you get all those bombarding questions about when you're gonna get married, when you're gonna have kids, and all the rest. Hi guys, and welcome back. This week in Cat Cares, we get to go back to Ask Katt, and I get to tap into my Hispanic culture with this submission from you guys. I'm so excited. As you already know, before we get started, go ahead and subscribe, hit that little bell, and you may really want to send this video out to all your Hispanic women because you are going to want the final 3 tips that I have for you in these upcoming holidays. I promise you, it's a good one and you're gonna need it for when you get all those bombarding questions about when you're gonna get married, when you're gonna have kids, and all the rest. You already know. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This week's letter reads, Dear Kat, after ending a 3-year relationship, I'm in such a great place in life, in which my career is taking off. I'm enjoying my own place. I'm experiencing and really enjoying new hobbies such as traveling and getting back to exercising. I don't want to make the excuse that I'm too busy to start dating, but I do feel that I have so much going on that I don't make the time for it. Coming from a Hispanic background, the common question always takes place at any kind of family gathering, don't we all know? When are you going to date? When are you guys gonna have kids? Kat, I am not in a rush for any of it, but I have my family as a constant reminder of my age. I'm in my 30s. And the time that I'm letting go by. How can I deal with these constant reminders without hurting their feelings, even though I feel that they are hurting mine? Ooh, girl. I'm gonna go ahead and say a universal thank you from all my Hispanic women out there who are gonna benefit from this video because I know that we have all been here. So thank you so much, my beautiful ray of sunshine, for submitting such an important conversation for us to have. And especially because culturally speaking, this is truly something that I feel we all go through. And I'm sure that not just the Hispanic culture, but definitely other cultures will also be able to relate to this. So, obviously, I'm gonna start with all of the wonderful things that you just talked about because, girl, there is so much. You are so amazing. First of all, the fact that you have been able to pick up the pieces and to rebuild after a 3-year relationship is so great. And not just be able to rebuild and readjust yourself to this new life and this new chapter, but you're enjoying it. And you were able to point out such wonderful things that you have been doing. Honestly, it's so great. And I love to hear things like this because that is what I want for all my empowered women out there. For you, that no matter what you've gone through, to be able to overcome it, to be able to get through it, and to be able to truly enjoy everything that life has to offer you in this new life and in this rebuilding. You know, we always talk about when life gives you lemons. So I want you to be able to enjoy that lemonade. I want you to drink it and enjoy it and feel refreshed because you made it happen. The fact that your career is taking off and that you're seeing growth in that professional aspect and that you feel that your purpose is being fulfilled is so amazing. And then on top of that, with this new life that you've been given, you've been able to explore new hobbies like traveling and exercising. And so it sounds like you are truly taking the time to take care of yourself and to treat yourself in order for you to truly take advantage of everything that your life has to offer. Apart from that, it sounds like you got a new place and that you're enjoying that. And some of the other things that may not be as evident because you noted a lot of good things, but then there are also other things that I picked up on. The fact that you're family oriented as a true Hispanic and that you're able to enjoy these family gatherings and that you have a family that gathers and that you're able to have a good time with for the most part, except for the questions. And apart from that, even though you may feel hurt by these questions, you are still so thoughtful to say, I want to be able to handle it because I don't want to deal with it anymore. However, I want to do it in a way where they don't hurt. And I think that is so wonderful because it's a balance, right? We don't want to hurt other people, but we also don't want to hurt ourselves. So thank you so much again for submitting this because I do want you to be able to get through it and be able to truly enjoy your family gatherings as the holidays creep up on us. Can you believe it? It's the end of the year. Where has time gone? So continue being you and continue doing the amazing things that you're doing because honestly, you're doing great. You're doing great, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more so that you can keep growing and keep doing on this wonderful journey of yours. So now let's go on to the question. You asked, how can I deal with these constant reminders without hurting their feelings, even though I feel they are hurting mine? So the first thing, as I said before, I'm glad that you are looking for solutions to this problem because if your feelings are being hurt, that needs to be resolved because I want you to look forward to your family gatherings, to want to see your family, to be surrounded by positivity, not to constantly feel this pressure of like, I don't have my life together, which brings me to my number one thing. I want you to truly understand why you are doing the things that you are and why you're not doing the things that you're not doing. You went through a breakup, you started to rebuild, and now you are enjoying the fruits of your labor. So the reason why dating and all these things haven't happened for you is not because you're pushing it away. It's because you are truly just enjoying the process. I never want any of these questions that they throw at you to take away from all of the great things that we just talked about in your life. So that's the number one thing. As soon as these family gatherings start to happen, I want you to really have it in your mind and to keep that in the forefront. Because when you are intentional about the things that you do and the choices that you make for yourself, that brings you confidence and understanding so that when people come and question you, because it's okay, we're always gonna have people that question us, whether it's family or not, you have an understanding as to why you've made this decision. I always want you to keep in mind the culture in Hispanic families. We are really expected to be married and with children and just like white picket fence by the age of 25. Seriously, can we take a moment? Because I remember being young and saying, oh yeah, by 25, I'm gonna like be married and have kids, probably 2, working on number 3. And then like 24 rolled around and I was like, okay, yeah, I don't think so. The good old days. And I think that also brings me to my next point, which is that times have changed. Before, thinking that you're going to be working on child number 3 by the age of 25 was normal. So I want you to understand two things. Number one, that this is the norm for them. So whenever you see something that doesn't fit your ideologies, you're going to question it. And that's where all these family questions come from. Pero ven acá, ¿y cuándo tú te vas a casar? It doesn't fit. They see this beautiful, talented girl and they're like, wait, hold on, this doesn't make sense. There's nothing wrong with you, so why not? But we go back to number one, right? Which is you understand why you are and aren't doing the things that you're doing, so it makes sense to you. But again, that's really hard to understand when your culture has different expectations. So I think it's important for you to keep that in mind so that you don't feel as bad, because I don't think that your family's coming from a bad place at all. They're just coming from a place of, this doesn't make sense. I think I'd be more worried if I didn't get those questions, because I'd feel like I wasn't capable. Like, so you don't think I'm pretty enough to get married or what? But in all seriousness, I think that when you should start to get worried is when you start to feel like you have to please other people. If at any point after one of these family gatherings, you feel like you gotta go find yourself a husband because la tia told you that it was time, that's when I'm gonna need you to back up, rewind this, and watch this over again. Because I want you to be able to make your standards. We talked about the standards for women changing. And I think one of the biggest changes that we've had is that now women get to choose their own standards. We don't have to be married by a certain time. We don't have to be married at all. We don't have to have kids by a certain age. We don't have to finish school or do any of these things by any given time. I think that slowly women as a whole are realizing that we can choose how we want to live our life. And that is such a beautiful thing to remember, because now we get to do things that feel right and feel good, not because we have this external pressure telling us it's time, so get it together. And so I want to end with these 3 direct tips as to how to handle these tíos and tías and abuelos and abuelas the next time that you are in one of these family gatherings. So I hope that these next 3 tips really help you for the upcoming holidays. Number 1 is going to be humor. So abuela asks, hey, why aren't you married yet? You can say something like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and run that by my 10 cats first. I don't know if they'll be okay with it. So using humor is gonna be a really great way to lighten the mood and kind of deflect, so you don't feel like you're pressured to answer any questions or give a specific time, because let's be real, you don't have a time right now, which is okay. Number 2 is going to be use facts. So when Tia comes up to you and asks, hey, so when are you gonna have babies? You can say, you know what? That is something that I've thought about. However, right now we have so many plans and we're doing so many things that it's just not the right time right now. You're not lying. You're not being defensive. You are using facts to let them know where you're at right now and where your mind is. And finally, number 3 is going to be reframe. This means that you are going to look at the question from a different perspective. As we talked about, we know that our family asking us these questions aren't coming from a bad place, right? So the next time that Tío or Tia come up to you and say, so, hey, when are the plans to find a man, or what are you waiting for? You can say, you know what? I really truly appreciate how much you love and care for me, that you just want what's best for me. I really truly appreciate that. And then you can go in with a fact or even some humor and keep the conversation going. I hope that these 3 tips really truly help you be able to handle these dreaded questions during the holidays as we continue to go forward with the end of the year. We are in the season to gather safely. And so I want you to truly be able to enjoy these moments, enjoy your family, and be ready for when they come at you with these questions that come from a good place. Remember to use humor, make it a funny moment. Use facts and let them know some of the great things that you are doing, or simply just reframe it and remember that it comes from a really, really good place. Honestly, I am so grateful that I get to talk about this because I truly love and embrace my Hispanic culture. So thank you so much for bringing this to me so that I can talk about it and we can discuss it here, because I don't want any of my empowered women to feel like they have to do something or abide by any society's rules or expectations, because you get to choose how you live your life, when you do things, and how you do them. So I hope that this has been helpful. Continue to be the empowered woman and women, for all my other women out there, that you are. And I will see you next week. In honor of my culture, I will leave you in Spanish. Esto ha sido todo por esta semana. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí y por verme. No se olviden a suscribir y poner esa campanita para que no se pierdan ni un episodio. Yo estaré de vuelta la semana que viene, pero hasta entonces, siempre, siempre recuerden, Cat cares. Bye, guys.